Ladies and gentlemen, I was so wrong about this HDB price inflation issue. And today I want to make a confession. And this is in a backdrop of some new data has just been released. And let's go and take a look at what this interesting confession is. Remember, watch until the end because I'm going to show some surprises of who might turn up at my channel. So the title of today's talk is I was so wrong about this HDB issue. And the backdrop is that we now see the HDB resale flat prices still going higher. And by the way, Chris Tan is coming very soon. And please hit subscribe. And I'll have one more surprise coming at the end of my talk. So please watch on. So the HDB resale price has gone up by 1.6% in Q1 of 2025. And the transaction has went up by 2.6% as well. And that is no surprise because all the while we have been seeing there's a supply crunch in HDB flats meeting their MOP of 5 years. So therefore, when supply is being crunched and the demand, remain strong, you really have to have a price increase phenomena. So the resale price index has gone up by 1.6% in Q1, but is lower than the 2.6% quarter-on-quarter growth and also lower than the 2.3% average growth last year. So you can see the rate of increase has fallen, right? So maybe it signifies some beginning of some weaknesses. Interestingly, I just checked the resale transaction price. I found that my HDB flat value just gone up again, right? You know what? Say what I want. I know I'm one of those people that cowboy that HDB resale flat price are too high, too high, too high, too high, too high. But when my flat value goes up, I actually say that it feels nice. Even though I know that it's a KKK asset. For those people who don't know what is KKK asset, it's a term I coined up myself. It's called Concacao asset. That means, until you die, then, your beneficiaries can realize the value. How I realize the value of this thing. I also know that it's a leasehold 99. When the lease comes to zero, the value will go to zero as well. So despite knowing all this, when I see my price value goes up, it still feel good. So it's a very emotional thing, taking away logic. Just taking a look at the flat prices. So some time back ago, I saw that an equivalent flat around my area gone up to $1.168 million. I felt very happy already. And I don't really know, but executive flats have two types. One is a double story one, they call it masonette, and there's a single story one called apartment. Somehow the masonette are priced higher than the apartment. I think it's because of just the idea of a double story versus single story. And surprisingly, the single story one has just broke $1.868 million, which means that the masonette will have gone even higher. But there are so few masonette for sale right now. So I think I would not see a resale transaction until some time to come. But you know what? It feels damn good just to go up. But the truth is, I sell this flat where I stay. Go stay in JB, is it? Every day go in and out, right? I think this is just an emotional thing, feel good thing. I begin to understand why everybody scolds me when I tell the government or tell everybody HDB resale flat prices must come down, right? Now I see the value goes up so high, I also start to feel like everybody does. So for those people who say, what about young people? What about young people? Young people go apply for BTO lah. Why is so difficult? Huge capital gains awaits them. They apply for successfully for BTO against the resale flat prices. There's such a huge capital gain. Of course, they go and apply for BTO. So my daughter and a boyfriend, will go apply for BTO. Now, if they tell me, ask my advice, whether you should buy a resale, I say, don't be out of your mind. Yeah, you spend so much money on a high resale flat now for what? Resale flat are meant for a few types of people to buy. Number one, those people who are condo and landed property downgraders, right? So that means they were staying in high value, expensive one. In their retirement, they decide to sell it off, enjoy retirement life. Good for them, right? Pay expensive resale flat. PRs, those rich PRs, everybody cowboo about them. Coming to Singapore, take away your job, blah, blah, blah. The PRs pay for high expensive resale flat. You are supporting your flat value. Why are you making so unhappy about them, right? So these are group people. Of course, there are people who say, oh, no, there are sandwich segments as well. Later, we'll talk about them, okay? So I think that this high HDB resale flat price issue is wrongly viewed. I was a champion for quite a long time saying that this HDB resale flat price is going out of whack. But I came to realize that most Singaporeans actually love the current situation. Okay. And every time I grumble about this, everybody KB at me, scold me and reprimand me and things like that. I begin to realize finally that this current situation, most Singaporeans actually love it. Please correct me if I'm wrong and let me walk through you why. The first thing is this: all the existing HDB flat owners loves their flat value to be high. Now, it took me some time to realize this, but now that I see my flat value go higher and higher and higher, well, I feel very shook. Yeah, I feel very shook. But I can't realize it. But you know what? It's an emotional thing. I love to see my flat value goes high. And if one day I key Tao Hong, I want to buy a condo or landed property in Singapore, I sell this, I can buy that one, right? But the truth is, if I sell this high, that one will also be high, right? But never mind. Emotionally, it feel good, not logical, emotional. What about young and newlywed people? They can get cheaper BTOs. It's still affordable, right? Very affordable. If you go and pick some places, they're very affordable. But a lot of people said, hey, I apply for 10, 20 times, cannot get. That's because, you apply for those hot areas. Hot areas, a lot of people go in, right? So of course you can say that, oh wow, BTO. I think Singapore government must make all BTO flats in hot areas available. I think that's I think stretching a bit too far. I think the when I had my first flat, I had it in Punggol then. That's 20 over years ago, about 26 years ago, 26, 27 years ago. I've in Punggol. Those days, Punggol is like a marshland. Yeah, I still remember there was a landfill for rubbish actually near my house. So those were Pongo, then you score Pongo 21, if you recall. I don't see why young people need to be so picky, but that's life. But my point is this: it's not that you don't have, it's because you want a higher quality of life, and then you have to either have to pay in terms of higher price or pay in a longer wait time, right? By the way, BTO construction time is now faster. Okay, I didn't know that, but I saw a report that says about 12,000 HDB flats with shorter waiting time will be launched by 2027. They now could get it at a 3-year waiting time. That's very fast, man. So now, even I didn't know this, bit swaku, okay, pardon me. Even singles now can have BTO flats, the two rooms one, if I'm not wrong. That's great, right? So actually, most people in Singapore, not all, I didn't say all, most people in Singapore actually love the current situation. I'm the stupid one every time say HDB resale flat must go down. Then I gonna slap by people online and say that Mr. Lu, you keep copying this, then my HDB resale flat goes down. Then those condo and landed property all don't have the pillar of support as well, right? High HDB resale flats support a high condo price, support a high landed price. The whole chain goes up. At the pillar of it is all high HDB resale flat. So I just realized that only a small segment, actually KB for nothing. Now, but let's take a look at some real genuine concern. So who actually kena from high HDB resale flat, right? Apart from PRs, which is none of our Singaporean concern, apart from those people who sold their expensive landed property and condo and moved out, that's also none of our concern. But there are high income married couples. Some people just cannot find husband and wife, until a very late time. Their income level shot to the roof. They are above $14,000. Those people, I think they will kena. This is what I call a sandwich segment. I don't want to use the word poor, but they are not income high enough to buy those expensive condo and landed property. But their income is not low enough for HEBTO. This segment will kena. I don't know how big is this segment, but I think the government should take a look at these cases case by case. I suspect that if you were to write into HDB, maybe they will make an appeal. I don't know. Go write to go and see your MP. This is what good MPs are for, right? MPs are for you. Are for those people to go to to deal with some of this problem, right? Now there are singles that say, I don't want two-room flat, too small for me. I one person, I want three-room, four-room, five-room flats and things like that. I don't know what to say, you only one person one. You want bigger flats. But some places I'm single, but I got a lot of people in my house. Okay, those are a bit complicated. Again, right? Those you go look for MP. I don't know, right? But I think most people who are single, I think a two-room flat, I think it's reasonable, right? I think it's reasonable. So HDB dwellers, that means existingly I have a HDB flat, but I need a bigger space right now, but I cannot afford a condo whatsoever. Yes, I think that is a genuine concern. Um, I don't know. I'm not a policy maker. Yeah, I think this one I think is a genuine issue. I don't know whether HDB resale flat um, dwellers, that means they are going for a second time. Can they go apply for places like Tengah and get five-room flats and above, right? They may say, oh, again, I don't want Tengah, the kind of place. Again, right? You want the best of the whole world. Okay? Singaporean, very difficult, please. I understand. So, um, and by the way, since this topic is linked to the topic of cost of living, these few days I keep hearing all the different parties cow about this cost of living issue. I just want to say, Mr. Lu is pretty ahead of time, and I'll say this again and again. Okay, you want a lower cost of living? It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Huh? Your dream might just come true. Don't need to wait for too long. Unfortunately, it won't be a dream. It will be a nightmare. Why did I say so? Okay, there are already signs of it. Our core inflation right now has hit a four-year low of 0.5% in March. It's coming down and down and down. Does that signify something to you? So Singapore core inflation rate has eased to a 0.5% year on year, down from 0.6%. This is a sixth consecutive drop of figure, mark a new four-year low on inflation. And it's now coming down, 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 down. That's because there's now an elevated risk of recession. JP Morgan has raised their probability of recession to 60% in 2025. S&P Global has raised probably a recession to 30 to 35. Goldman Sachs 35%. Other analysts are all gaining traction as well. IMF have raised the probability of a recession from 30 to 40%, depending where you are. And Barclay, Deutsche Bank, RBC Capital, everybody warned that U.S. economy face a higher risk of slipping into a recession. And all this will flow to Singapore for sure. Once you hit recession, your dream will come true of lower prices, right? So I think the biggest fight that we have right now is not cost of living, man. I think these people are still living in the wrong time. Okay, yes, prices has gone up. Yes, I know that, but our bigger challenge is already here. It's not in future. It's just that a lot of people cannot see it, because they're too blind by emotions and things like that. But the problem, the new challenge has already started. Okay, your dream of having lower prices is coming. And I can assure you, China is experiencing a deflation right now. Deflation is not, okay, a nice situation. So maybe in this tone, I would like to share with you a slice of life, how I lived through my first BTO. It was a very tough time then, right? I told you guys that I had my BTO. That time was 24 years ago. My flat came, and that time was 2001. There was a dot-com bust. The industry was hit very bad. Recessionary environment and things like that. Pay freeze. I don't remember having pay cut, bonus cut, and things like that. And at about time, I just financially not very savvy. I lost a lot of money in the great in the Asia financial crisis and so on. So when a flat came, I think I shared with quite a lot of people already, but I would like to repeat again. I just want to share everybody how I went through my first BTO. So the BTO came, we didn't have much choice. I don't have much savings because all the amount of money I have is all already used up to pay the deposit and things like that. Don't have much CPF left or whatsoever. And the first thing we need to do is to renovate the house, right? When BTO comes, you need to renovate the house, but we don't have much money to renovate. So what do? Okay, so when this month's salary comes, lay the tiles first. So how does Mr. Lu do it? I look at a newspaper. Those days, very few online search for it. Look at newspaper, look for the three best, cheapest price, and then ask them to recode normal tiles. Just lay the whole ground. Normal tiles. Don't have much choice to choose. Just take a look at the cheapest tiles possible, ceramic tile, and pick the cheapest one. Lay the ground. I don't remember, a few $1,000s to lay the whole house and things like that. Those days were much cheaper, but that's what we can afford from our salary, right? Now, after you lay the tiles, you must have lights, right? Or else how you live in the house, right? So what do, right? We go to Geylang area. Now Geylang area not just good for food and those kind of stuff, but Geylang has a lot of lights and fan shop. We buy those lights and bring back ourselves. Really, those lights, those lights. I remember those they don't have LED lights, them those were fluorescent lights. And then I bought myself a drill, okay, and then I also found a way to learn how to install ceiling fans and things like that. I did that. That was the time I realized that there are screws that open up and hold the thing strongly. And there I went myself, gonna drill, install myself. Okay, I installed the whole house lights and installed the ceiling fan. How many of you know how to install a ceiling fan? So by the way, right, that was then I actually got burned. Okay, I actually got burned by on a scar by a live wire. Okay, the scar you see, I don't think you can see it. Okay, because I didn't know that the red one is a live wire. I don't know how I could touch it. Bzzz, wow, that was can smell smoke. That was terrible. But you know what? That's that's how we live through, right? So after that, then we start next month we have money, we build kitchen cabinet. Next month we got money, we buy a refrigerator. Next month money, we then go for TV and things like that. I think it was only after 6 or 7 months that we had television, and we have just floor mattresses and things like that. Very simple life then. Try living that kind of life today. You ask the young people, I don't think they will go through that kind of thing. So, uh, I think that it's important for us to realize that our lives now are very, very nice, very, very nice. I've gone through a tough patch because of lack of financial literacy. That's why I spend a lot of time very passionate to help you guys to level up your financial literacy. But I also don't want everybody to go through this. Between the current complaints of high cost of living, all this kind of thing, to what possibly could be coming, okay, if which is a recession, I think everybody need to gear their mind towards what's coming. Okay. Anyway, this is Mr. Lu sharing with you a slice of life and this new perspective of HDB resale flats. Okay, so remember to click like and subscribe as we have more guests coming. Okay, and by the way, okay, someone wrote to me and said that he's reaching out on my behalf to Leong Man Wai and Tan Ching Bok. Okay, if we can get them, I think that'll be very interesting. Leong Man Wai is actually quite knowledgeable. Dr. Tan Ching Bok was a medical doctor. And if you come to my channel, I think I'll be honored, right? Okay. I mean, I've open invitation to maybe the bigger shots. A lot of y'all, when I invite, not so big shots, OPs to come in, you're kawi kawu, eh? You're Singaporean, very difficult to please. Okay. You guys are also very difficult to please. So hit subscribe so that you won't miss out on these surprises. Okay. I'll see you in a day or two. Bye bye.